The Moonlit Menagerie. The night stretched wide and calm, a gentle veil of deep indigo draping across the sky. Stars shimmered faintly, their light mingling with the silver glow of the moon, creating a soft, magical luminescence that fell over the hidden garden. She stepped quietly along the narrow path, each footstep cushioned by moss and fallen leaves. The air was cool, filled with the subtle scent of night-blooming flowers and damp earth. The garden seemed alive, though nothing stirred aggressively. Instead, it breathed with slow, deliberate motion. Tiny lights drifted among the trees, like fireflies, but steadier, warmer, each one pulsing softly, as if it carried a heartbeat. She felt a quiet thrill, not from fear, but from gentle wonder. The path beneath her feet curved slightly, revealing a pond with water so still it mirrored the moon perfectly, and within the reflection, faint ripples suggested something magical was stirring below the surface. From the shadows of a willow, a small creature emerged, a delicate, silver-furred fox with luminous eyes that shimmered like starlight. It regarded her quietly, tilting its head, not with suspicion, but with gentle curiosity. She knelt, letting her hands hover above the soft moss. Without touching, the fox approached small, tentative steps till it brushed her fingers lightly with its nose. A warmth bloomed in her chest, soft and tender, as though the creature's trust had become a quiet gift. Deeper into the garden, the path opened to a glade where magical animals roamed freely. Tiny dragons, no bigger than cats, flickered softly with ember-like scales. A family of glow rabbits hopped lazily between patches of luminescent mushrooms. Birds with feathers of moonlight sang the faintest songs, each note drifting like mist. She walked slowly among them, careful not to disturb, noticing the subtle movements and sounds, the hum of a dragon's wings, the gentle rustle of rabbits' feet, the soft melodic hum of the birds. The air carried a faint warmth, a gentle wind that moved like a slow current, wrapping her in comfort. She found a large, soft blanket of moss beneath an ancient tree, its branches stretching toward the sky, glowing faintly with tiny blossoms that pulsed in rhythm with the creature's movements. She sat, folding her legs beneath her, and let herself breathe deeply. Every inhalation carried the scents of the garden. Every exhalation released the weight of the world beyond. A small stream wound through the glade, water glowing faintly with bioluminescent magic. She dipped her fingers into it, feeling a subtle warmth, a pulse that resonated softly against her skin. Tiny fish, their scales glittering like liquid stars, circled her hand without fear, brushing against her in quiet, delicate gestures. She realized the garden did not rush. It existed in a slow, patient rhythm, teaching her to move with gentleness and attention. As she gazed around, she noticed a tree with lanterns hanging from every branch, each one holding a small, shimmering creature inside. They twirled slowly, casting gentle moving shadows across the grass and moss. She leaned back, letting her eyes trace each light, each tiny movement, absorbing the quiet harmony of the place. She understood, softly and fully, that patience and presence were the key to connecting with the garden's magic. She shifted slightly on the moss, letting the creatures move freely around her. The silver fox curled at her side, its small warmth comforting, while the tiny dragons flickered lazily, lighting up the dark corners of the glade. She reached for a glowing mushroom, tracing its faintly pulsing light with her fingertips, feeling a subtle vibration like a heartbeat. The entire garden seemed alive in harmony, a slow symphony of gentle movement and soft light. Above her, the moon filtered through the branches, illuminating a small tree that seemed different from the others. Its leaves shimmered with faint rainbow hues, and tiny creatures resembling winged cats perched silently among them. Each blink of their eyes sent a soft ripple of warmth through the air, a tiny gift she felt in her chest. She exhaled slowly, letting her mind drift with the rhythm of this place. A small pond reflected the moon and the creatures around it. As she leaned closer, she noticed faint shapes beneath the surface. Water nymphs, their translucent forms moving gracefully, leaving trails of sparkling light in the rippling water. They did not startle at her presence, instead, weaving around each other in a slow, mesmerizing dance. She watched, mesmerized, feeling a deep calm settle in her bones. The fox stirred, looking up at her, and in a movement so gentle it almost seemed like a bow, it nudged her hand toward a small, glowing scroll lying on the moss. She unrolled it, revealing soft, moving script that floated above the parchment. The words formed images as well, tiny, luminescent visions of peaceful moments, animals caring for each other, and serene landscapes bathed in moonlight. She followed each image, letting them drift into her thoughts, filling her with quiet joy. Nearby, a faint hum arose from a circle of stones, each etched with runes that glimmered gently. As she approached, she felt the hum in her chest, a resonance that matched her heartbeat. The stones vibrated with a gentle warmth, as though the earth itself was welcoming her into this quiet, magical sanctuary. She rested her hands on the stones, feeling a profound connection, a reminder that stillness and patience hold deep, subtle power. Time seemed to slow to nothingness. The creatures moved gently each moment, stretching into the next. She walked slowly among them, noting every twitch of a whisker, every flutter of tiny wings, every ripple of glowing water. Each observation was a lesson, teaching her that attentiveness is an act of love, and that small, patient moments contain the most profound magic. She finally settled back on the moss, letting her gaze drift upward at the moon and the stars. Tiny creatures nestled around her, dragons, foxes, rabbits, and winged cats, all sharing the same calm, quiet space. She realized that even the smallest of beings, when noticed and respected, could offer deep comfort and wisdom. As her eyelids grew heavier, the garden seemed to hum in quiet harmony, a lullaby of gentle lights and soft movements. She let herself melt into this rhythm, feeling the pulse of life, of magic, of presence, wrap her in a serene embrace. The night deepened, and the glade seemed to glow a little brighter, not in intensity, but in richness of detail. Every creature, every plant, every ripple of water seemed to carry a subtle story. She wandered slowly to a small hill in the center, where the air shimmered faintly, and sat cross-legged, letting the moonlight rest softly on her face. Around her, tiny fireflies emerged, but these were different. They were not ordinary fireflies, but miniature lanterns, glowing in a rainbow of pastel hues. They circled gently above her, leaving trails of soft light that danced across the moss and stones. She reached out her hands, and a few landed on her fingertips, their warmth almost imperceptible, but deeply comforting. A dragon, no bigger than her hand, perched nearby, its scales flickering with gentle embers. It hummed softly, vibrating with a calm energy she could feel in her chest. She understood that every creature here, no matter the size, had its own rhythm, its own lesson, and that listening was the way to receive their quiet magic. She leaned against a tree with bark like silver, noticing its faint heartbeat in the air. The leaves whispered as the wind passed, forming words she did not consciously understand, but felt deeply: patience, care, attention, stillness. Each leaf's movement carried a gentle reminder to slow down, to breathe, to be present. A small, glowing pond nearby rippled as a group of miniature water spirits emerged, their laughter like wind chimes in the distance. They danced slowly, deliberately, weaving between floating lily pads that glimmered faintly. She dipped her fingers in the water, feeling the soft pulse of life and magic intertwine with her own. Each moment seemed to stretch, elongating time, making it easy to forget the outside world entirely. She noticed the fox again, curled beside her, its breathing slow and steady. The dragons rested, wings folded, glowing softly. Even the smallest rabbits had settled into quiet patterns. Everything moved in harmony, teaching her that life does not need to rush to be meaningful. The magic of the garden existed in stillness, in gentle observation and patient attention. Slowly, she allowed herself to lie back on the moss, surrounded by glowing creatures and gentle light. Every heartbeat, every breath, every shimmer of magic seemed to whisper, "You are safe, you are seen, you are part of this calm rhythm." She felt herself sink deeper into the warm embrace of the garden, drifting toward the delicate edge between wakefulness and sleep. The glade grew quieter still, the gentle hum of the creatures blending with the soft rhythm of her own breath. Tiny dragons flickered faintly, rabbits nestled among glowing mushrooms, and winged cats perched on low branches, all moving slowly, deliberately, with infinite patience. She felt a sense of belonging, of quiet companionship that was not noisy or demanding, but entirely sustaining. Above her, the stars shimmered in soft constellations, mirrored faintly in the pond's calm surface. The moonlight bathed her face, and she felt warmth spreading slowly through her chest. She understood the lesson the garden had been offering all along. Patience, presence, and gentle attentiveness allow magic, comfort, and wisdom to enter quietly into life. She reached out to a nearby glowing scroll. Its pages shimmered as she unrolled it, revealing floating words and images of the creatures she had watched, moments she had shared, and lessons she had learned. Each word seemed to sink softly into her heart, reinforcing calmness, trust, and a profound sense of peace. The silver fox nudged her hand once more, and she smiled softly, stroking its fur with tender care. A small dragon curled beside her, purring faintly, and the glow rabbits blinked in harmony. The winged cats leapt silently from branch to branch, their movements elegant and measured. Every living thing, every flicker of light, every soft sound reinforced the same truth. Magic exists in gentleness, presence, and patient observation. She closed her eyes fully, letting the warm lamplight of the moon, the soft glow of creatures, and the gentle pulse of the garden cradle her. She breathed slowly, deeply, surrendering to the rhythm of the glade. Each inhale carried peace, each exhale released the last remnants of worry. The garden, the moon, and the countless tiny creatures became a lullaby, carrying her softly into sleep. And as she drifted, suspended between consciousness and dreams, She felt the gentle heartbeat of the moonlit menagerie surrounding her, a world where patience, kindness, and careful attention create infinite, quiet magic. Safe, seen, and held, she allowed herself to rest completely, enveloped in the slow, tender rhythm of night.